Hello everyone. Without wasting much time, let's move on. I will be talking about next generation electrolyzer technology. I come from Rystad Energy. We are data and analysis insight provider. We work across many sectors, but our bread and butter was oil and gas industry. Then we move into clean tech. We have solar, we have battery, we have geothermal, and the part of it is CCS and hydrogen. So hydrogen is where I'm focusing on. Next. This is what our hydrogen and derivative solution looks like. We cater the hydrogen market, ammonia market, green methanol, hydrogen supply chain, the pricing, and the fuel cell market as well. We have data and analytics as well. Next. So these are the current market leaders. As we know, Thyssen Group has the largest manufacturing capacity of alkaline, more than 2 gigawatt. Then we have John Cockrell, around same 2 gigawatt. Longi, the Chinese major player, 2.5 gigawatt. All these are alkaline players. And then we have Nel, which is into alkaline and PEM as well. And then we have the PEM big players, say Siemens Energy, Plug Power, ITM Power. What we are seeing, all these big players, they are making developments in both segments, non-technical and technical as well. In the technical, like we see, they are reducing the use of PGM group metals. They are improving the efficiencies. They are going for a high pressure electrolyzer technologies. But on the non-technical side, there are going for collaborations with the EPC players, developing a complete solution. Say, for example, Relay, which is the John Cockrell and their Technip Energies collaborations. Also, there is a lot of acquisitions going on in this segment, where the weaker players are being acquired by major players such as Thyssen Group recently acquired Green Hydrogen Systems, and similarly, John Cockrell acquired the McPhy. So these are kind of non-technical developments also going on. On the other side, we also see a lot of Chinese players are entering the European market, either directly or indirectly. Indirectly, maybe they are investing in the existing players, say Hydrogen Pro, or directly by, say, Gofui is going to set up a plant in collaboration with Siemens. So this is how the Chinese are also tapping into the European market. Next. If we see the current operational capacity as of now, it's 76%, it's alkaline electrolyzers, and only 23% are the PEM. And AEM and SOEC are very negligible. But if you see the overall booked capacity that is announced by the developers and also the OEMs, okay, we will be providing this electrolyzer, this technology to this project, we see in the next after 2030, the share of PEM technology is going to increase and it's going to take the major market share, going across 49%. And the remaining would be the 45% alkaline. And we see a slight, not slight for SOEC, but a major increase from, say, 0 to almost 6% of SOEC. SOEC finds like a very niche application where you have thermal waste heat source, where you can club your SOEC with the waste heat, and you have a very high efficiencies, maybe going beyond 100%. Next. This is interesting. So this is about the emerging and the hybrid configuration. Like Mr. Balan said, last year particularly, we have seen a lot of announcements in China for the AEM technologies. There are very small and established players going into the AEM technologies. They have announced they will come up with even the gigawatt project, gigawatt manufacturing projects for AEM, which is a huge, we can see a target, because AEM has been in, even now they are in a kilowatt scale. There are no major, even in megawatt scale AEM technology. So if you see the announcements made by the China, it's interesting and also surprising. On the solid oxide side also, we have seen a lot of development recently. The Topsoe, they inaugurated their gigawatt scale plant. We have Elcogen, they have their SOEC plant in tannin, and yeah, so both these two segments, they are going to pick up, but it's very, these two are very niche application kind of thing. AEM would be mainly combining with the alkaline to match the renewables or the absorb the fluctuations in the renewable energy. That is where the China is aiming for AEM, whereas SOEC, as I said, it's going to be coupled with the thermal waste heat. On the right hand side, if we see, there is a combination of technologies that China already experimented, and even in the rest of the world it is being experimented. But China has gone from, say, pilot stage to even the commercial big projects. So if we see, they are using a certain percentage of PEM along with the alkaline technology. So if we see, about of the listed projects, more than 50% are the Chinese project where they are using a certain percentage of PEM, say around 20 to 30% nearby, but less than 20%. If I say. So these are mainly to absorb the renewable energy fluctuations. And there is one more interesting thing. If you go and do a more research on these projects, you can see there the energy source for these are the solar and wind. So where the wind is there, it's more unpredictable than solar, and it's more fluctuating than solar. So that is where most of the Chinese projects, even today, even yesterday when I was discussing with our colleague in China, they say all the flagship projects that are going to come, they would have a certain percentage of PEM, so they can balance the fluctuations and keep their alkaline electrolyzers at a stable load, so to improve their efficiencies and improve their life. Now, why you need next generation electrolyzers? Why the existing ones are say not fit? So the new tech players, what they are doing is they are tackling the four scenarios, either the economic or the technical, or on the material side, and making their electrolyzers more modular. On the economic side, they are using a cheaper material, fewer BOP components, lower OPEX, CAPEX. On the technical side, going for high pressure, dynamic, membrane-free electrolyzers as well, which completely eliminates the use of PGM group metals. On the material side, as I said, no PGM group metals, more sustainable, and the materials which do not have supply chain issues, mainly the iridium, palladium, those kind of metals. On the modular side, yeah, it's plug and play. Okay, you do not need much of the setting of the plant. You just bring the electrolyzers, you plug it, and you start it. Scalable, you want tomorrow, you want to increase its, you can just have another module and you can scale it. So, and these are also low maintenance. Next. So I've picked up 5 companies here. You can see Hymet, it's Denmark based, it's Hysata, it's Australia based, and Verdagy, H2 Pro, and Oxyon Energy. If we see, all of these are claiming a very high efficiencies than the standard alkaline or PEM electrolyzers, which say around 70%, but all of them are claiming about 90% of efficiencies, 95%. If we see the Hymet, their unique proposition is the low temperature and high pressure electrolysis. They are claiming that they do not use rare materials, and also their electrolyzers consumes 20% less power. The another one is interesting, the Hysata. Their electrolyzer is a capillary fade alkaline electrolyzer. So when this capillary action, you do not have the bubbling of the hydrogen and the oxygen that is being evolved. So this reduces the resistance, the bubble which is forming a gap. It neglects that bubble, and the resistance, electrical resistance, drops very significantly, increasing the efficiency. And also because there is no resistance as such, you need no rare metal in the catalyst. On the Verdagy side, they have this patented single cell architecture where you can monitor each and every single cell, And also the monitoring makes it easy to identify, okay, which cell is performing well and which cell is not performing, so you can only go and replace that particular cell. Also, their patented technology makes the alkaline electrolyzer more dynamic and matching the renewable load. H2 Pro, this is Israel-based company. It's a unique technology. It works like a similar to battery, where they have this electrochemical, thermally activated chemical kind of technology which separates hydrogen and oxygen in two distinct steps. So in one step you have the hydrogen, and in the second step you get oxygen. So since it is a two-step process, you do not actually need the membrane. You have hydrogen separated in a separate step, and similarly oxygen. There is no gas mixing. It's safer, and it's highly responsive to the renewable loads. The another one is the Oxyon Energy. It's US based, and they are developing the very high robust SOEC stacks, which is mainly for the niche applications, military, or where you need a very rugged operations, no vibrations and no noise. So that is where Oxyon Energy is developing the next generation of electrolyzers. Next. Yeah, as Mr. Shekhawat mentioned, digitalization. So yes, he was true, and there is a lot of growing interest in using the data and AI in the electrolyzer operations. And sadly, this has been, not sadly, but we see more and more Chinese players have aggressively started using that and even marketing that as well. So we see we have few players which are already promoting such kind of thing. We have Longi Hydrogen, we have Sungrow, we have Enapter, we have Honeywell, even Siemens and ThyssenKrupp Nucera. And what does this AI does, or the data does? It predicts the early failure. So if the electrolyzer is going to fail, they know, okay, this particular issue is there, maybe because of corrosion or because of bad quality of water or any other reason. They know it earlier, so they can manage the service of this, and you can reduce the time of maintenance as well. Enapter, they have trained their AI models on more than 2.7 million operating hours of their electrolyzers. So they have a lot of data, how the electrolyzer operates, how it fluctuates through the variable loads, and those kind of things. So even this, the early fault detection, it reduces the unplanned downtime, and the plant can be monitored and even operated from over the air. So if you see the ThyssenKrupp Nucera, they remote operation and maintenance system, so they can continuously remote their plant. Say they have the plant in Sweden, so they can sit in Germany and see, okay, how the plant is operating. Do it need certain tweaks and changes to make it more efficient? So this is kind of thing the AI has been used for. But if you see, most of these claims are done by the companies, so they are vendor reported, and they may not be true to the value, but yeah, it's happening, and it is making electrolyzers last longer and generate more hydrogen from them. The technology dilemma, yes, when technology meets commercial reality. There are a lot of new technologies upcoming, photoelectrolysis, bioelectrolysis, and all those kind of things. But for the technology to be there in the big projects and to stand for next 20-25 years, it has to really pass certain hard tests. You need the technology to be bankable. You need guarantees, you need warranties. Okay, the efficiencies that we are claiming, it would last till 20 years. And there are, I'm not sure if anyone is giving those kind of warranties and guarantees in return that our technology, our electrolyzer will last or will run at that efficiency. So this is where the problem comes. Like the ThyssenKrupp Nucera, their electrolyzers, you said the lower limit is 10%. But in the Chinese electrolyzers, what we have seen, the first big project, Sinopec's 260 megawatt project, the operation of the electrolyzers failed when the load went below 50% of the rated capacity. So that's a huge loss of the energy, because below 50 you cannot run the electrolyzer. So that is a very bad case scenario for this, and it is not for a single Chinese suppliers. There were 3 suppliers and all of them failed. It was John Cockrell, or the Cockrell Jingli, we have Longi and Peric, all the big players and experienced ones. So yes, it's an issue there as well. Then we have the recent case. This happened in March 2026. So the first ammonia, which has signed earlier signed lot of 5 gigawatt contracts with Topsoe to use their solid oxide electrolyzers. But they recently cancelled their contract with the Topsoe, and they claim that it is not bankable. The existing PEM and alkaline technologies, even though if they are less efficient than the solid oxide, they are more bankable and commercially proven. So even the CEO said, okay, they could reduce the power efficiency, but they would improve the supplier flexibility and reduce operating cost. So there is currently only few suppliers for the solid oxide kind of electrolyzers. So depending on the one or two players, it's very tough given the market conditions and the supply chain kind of thing. So these are the issues. Even if you have a very good technologies, it won't be there in the market, or even if you have a contract or those kind of things. So it really depends on, you have to think as a whole, not just you have a very good electrolyzers. On the last part, we see this Hydrogen Pro Norwegian based company, their electrolyzers in the US, they face a major setback, and they occurred extra cost of 3.4 million. Why? Because of the some logistic and transportation challenges while transporting their electrolyzers from China and assembling them at their USA site. So this exactly we do not know what went wrong, but the storage and the transportation challenges with electrolyzers are still there even today, and you need to address them. Otherwise, if you are already a loss-making company in this very tough market and such things happen, it's very difficult to survive the next quarter. Yeah. Next slide. Yes, coming to this is last slide. Coming to India landscape, what we have currently almost 18 gigawatt of planned manufacturing capacity. You can see around 2.5 gigawatt operational. Most of it is the 2 gigawatt is the announced capacity by the OMIUM, which is the PEM. But soon the PEM would be a smaller percentage, and alkaline players, as we have a lot of alkaline players in India, they would pick up, and the share of alkaline in India at least would increase. In terms of manufacturing capacity, after China and US, India is the third country, third region which has the highest manufacturing or the announced manufacturing capacity. In the middle, you can see the split of the manufacturing capacity. Currently, it's PEM, very few alkaline, but yeah, PEM and SOEC would increase in coming years. On the right-hand side, there are very few. It's hardly you can count on the fingers. Indian players who have their own technologies. Like Mr. Ganpati said, they have their own indigenous technologies, and there would be other, and if you like BARC, they might have their own indigenous technology. But lot of the technologies that are coming to India are either the European, the Chinese, or the recently we have also seeing technology from South Korea. And it is expected even the Japanese technology would also come to India. So what are these players doing? They are having a technology licensing kind of thing with the Indian players. And if you see carefully, these Indian players are not only the manufacturers of technology. They have EPC expertise, They have proven capabilities. They have funds where, and they have a lot of experience in developing other kind of projects. So they are not just choosing, okay, I will go and partner with Reliance or Thermax and start give them technology licensing and they will start. So this is what a very clever thing is happening in the Indian market especially. And why India? European is trying to use the Indian market to make the products, and they want to stay away from China. They want the Indian products, and China wants to capture the Indian market, so they are also having in China. So it's like India is kind of a battleground for all the key OEMs. Yeah. And if you closely follow these licensing terms, and there are very strict terms. Okay, you can only produce my technology, and you can use only for your projects, or also you cannot sell it outside India. You can use it in India, or you can use it in APAC region. So there are a lot of terms and conditions that comes with this. Yeah, I will stop here, and yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you very much.